Good morning, everyone. Today we will be flying off to Asia. The time between when you wake up in the morning to when you're leaving for your car to pick you up to bring you to the airport is just a time when everything's already prepared. So it's just a weird time to it's like the calm before the storm, but there's no actual storm. But that's what it feels like. It's the calm before the storm. You haven't left yet, but it's just quiet. Everything's unplugged. There's nothing going on. So, I see my car's here. All right, let's head to the airport. We're now checking in from the Montreal Trudeau Airport, and I may have gotten here way too early because there is not a soul in sight anywhere here except for staff and some flight to Liberia. But we're here, so we're just gonna hang out for a bit, and next time we check in, we'll either be in the air or 10,000 kilometers away. That's the plane we're taking. I believe it is a 777-300ER, if I read correctly online, but that's the plane. Seems to be okay. It's a few times I take it. We'll see what happens. Into the city, spent 2 hours at immigration. But as it happens, people will wait in line for 2 hours, and only once they get there, they start looking for their papers, even though they're yelling, QR code in that's universal language. It seems that people still didn't get it until they finally got to the counter, and then they have to figure it out. Then at the train station, it's the same thing. I mean, you're dealing with people that... Anyways, that could have all been avoided. Now we just got here. We're finally in town. It's 7 o'clock. Just passed by another vending machine, and the Pocari Sweat is now 180 yen. When I was here in September, it was about 150. So inflation's going crazy. At the airport, the Gatorade was $6. In September, it was $4.15. In 2020, it was $1.95. It's crazy. So yeah, we're definitely not going to get that. That's not going to happen. All right, at this point, I think it's confirmed that we are in fact in Koreatown. Everybody's speaking Korean, and it's all Korean barbecue. I just want tonkatsu with that canned purple drink. So we're going to try and find that right now. That's what we're looking for right now. We're also dehydrated, but we're not spending $2 Canadian on a Pocari Sweat. Those days are over. I'm just going to dehydrate. All right, new development here is that I think everybody's a tourist. I don't know what's going on, but everybody seems to be a tourist. It's 3 times now that people ask me for directions, which makes no sense. I mean, if you look around. But that's what it's looking like. Anyways, this is, we're going to go to a Matsunoya right here, and we're going to have some tonkatsu, so we'll be back. Alright guys, that's just what I finished eating. It's just an ordinary tonkatsu meal with that grape juice. Believe it or not, that's fast food over there. But anyways, I think we're going to call it early tonight between, the people annoying me at the immigration area who don't know how to get their papers. It just so happens, by the way, that the slowest people in the immigration line are always the horizontally challenged. And it goes by size, so the more horizontal they were, the longer they took. It's not coincidence. It's not coincidence. We're going to call it. We're in some alley here. We're going to head back to the capsule hotel that I'm staying at. Probably going to chill in the lounge for a bit, take a shower, and we'll get started tomorrow on the next day. So that's my first day here. That's just how it is. Maybe tomorrow we'll find Pocari Sweat for cheaper. Maybe it's because we're deep in the city that it was 180. I was seeing it for 120 to 140. That could maybe be an adventure for tomorrow. We're going to try and find one. Something I just want to show you guys here is when walking into the place where I'm staying, there's a umbrella stand here where you could just take an umbrella, leave an umbrella. And this is just another example of something that would never work here, or sorry, that only works here but would never work back home. I mean, someone would just go over there and just take all the umbrellas. It's just never gonna happen. Much less busy than yesterday in the evening, I'll tell you guys that. I mean, I usually don't film and walk in crowded areas just because of the noise and all that, but as you can see, this is exactly where I was yesterday. Sorry for the low light conditions. I mean, I'm still learning how to use this camera. But for today's plan, I don't really know what we're going to do. Maybe we're going to go to Yokohama, maybe we're going to go walk along the beach. I'm not quite certain yet, but we'll figure it out as we go. So this is the first full day in Asia, and we'll get straight to it. All right, I've figured out, another vending machine. Pocari Sweat, 160. 160, guys. We saw 180, now we saw 160. And at the Family Mart, I did see it at 150, but the whole point is that you want to get it from a vending machine. And I did remember in September seeing them for 120-ish, so that's probably what we're going to be looking for. And I also noticed why I'd been solicited for sex yesterday, and then I realized that it's because the area that I'm staying in has a park called Okubu Park, or something of that nature. And around that park is usually where these sex workers would work. And that is next to the red light district, where you'll have the more legitimate sex workers or something of the sort. That's what I was briefed on very, very briefly from Google AI. So that's what I got. Oh, another vending machine, and nope, no Pocari Sweat in this one. We will find it at 120. We will find it. When I find it at 120, we're gonna get it. I promise. That's the goal for today. We're gonna find one. Maybe we'll go outside of the city limits and we'll see if we can find one. Let's keep going. Also, a little quick note here that I just want to give you guys is that when a hotel says rest, like over here, see when there's rest and there's only certain hours, that's because that's a hotel, that's like a love hotel where you would only rent 3 hours at a time. However, at the same time, then you're also asking yourself that, you know, you rent 3 hours, but the whole point is that you're getting someone that you can't communicate with, that you don't speak the same language. So what are you doing for, 2 hours and 58 minutes and 45 seconds of that? This is what I mean about the prices. This Pocari Sweat, 180 right here. That's what I mean about the prices. There's also another drink. It's some red vitamin drink. If we could find that one's about 150, 160. That's one of the best drinks you'll ever have. Here we don't have it. They're very rare to find. It's like a vitamin water of some sort, but they don't have it here. Maybe we'll try to find that. And here it is. The 140 yen, that red vitamin water. I don't know what's in there, what kind of sugar's in there, but that's one of the best drinks you'll ever have. So now I know that this vending machine has it, so I'll always come here for that one. That's one of the best drinks you'll ever have. It gives you a second life. That it just brings back Jesus. It just makes your day better. You'll choke on it, and then it's going to bring you back to life as well. I mean, that thing's done magic for me in the past. Highly recommend. Now what we're looking at here is there's a bunch of garbage trucks that just pulled up. It's still 6:30 in the morning, and as you can see, there's a bunch of garbage all over the floor, which is very uncharacteristic of Japan, but these trucks seem to be pulling up right now, all of those trucks, and people seem to be cleaning up a lot of this stuff here, putting it in trash cans, and I guess maybe that's how they clean it, but I've personally never seen this much trash here around, whether or not it's in a touristic area. I've never seen it like this. So maybe it's just because I'm here early, but the fact that there's all kinds of garbage here on the floor like that, all over the place, I've never seen that before. Right here, there's just like some other like those girl bars where you could spend money to just talk to women or whatever. I don't have money for that, and I don't have any good conversation either. But that's what it is. I guess they're gonna clean up all this garbage here. Never seen it like this, and we'll see what this looks like later on today. But just to give you an idea, that there's trash legitimately everywhere. There's even a rat right there. That's probably one of the first rats I've ever seen in Tokyo. The birds too are having a feast here. The birds are everywhere with the garbage. There's the Godzilla too on the roof. We're in Kabukicho or however you want to pronounce that. Doesn't matter. Either way, it's wrong. But we're going to take a walk here and we'll see what else is going on at this time in the morning. But right now it just looks like there's garbage trucks everywhere and people still hanging out from last night that I won't film, but there's a few people passed out over there. I'll just keep walking. And that's the thing, is that every time I've come here, when I've been here during COVID, this place was completely empty. There wasn't anyone around. I was probably the only foreigner around here. When I came here in September, it was very packed. It was very, very different in September of 2024. And now that I'm back, it's probably even more packed. I mean, we went from me being one of the only foreigners just 5 years ago to now they're everywhere. And I mean, there's even places like this. What is this? A soft demand land. Like something like that. That looks like another place where you get to hang out with an AV actress, which I assume is adult video actress. These places are making money off foreigners like us. Or maybe off locals. I don't know who goes here. If I could find someone to talk to and ask, that would be quite interesting. Just to know who's buying those services, because they're definitely not cheap either. We are still in the heart of the red light district, but once again, this is just what it looks like in the morning. Just very, very quiet. Love hotels everywhere, all around. Not much going on here in the morning. Some places are open, but it's just the 24-hour ramen places, and A lot of these prices are crazy. This is definitely only for tourists. I mean, these prices, like some of these meals are crazy priced. Everything is just very expensive. Definitely not tailored for locals. That's what I would say. But anyways, we'll keep walking here. This is just what it looks like the morning after. This is basically one of those morning after videos. You guys all seen on YouTube videos of how crazy it looks like at night. This is just what it looks like the morning after at 6 in the morning. Just very quiet. All these bars are empty. And this alley is surprisingly way cleaner than a lot of the others that I've seen. So maybe they've done cleanup here earlier. Some clubs are still going on. There's some rave that's going on in that building. People coming in and out. So some things are still going on. Here we are. I mean, we're still in the heart of the area. This is where we were earlier, where they cleaned up a little bit. Now we're going to keep walking by here. Yep, there's a few people walking out of that rave. This is Ichiran Ramen. Very, very famous here as well. I think around the world. Very, very famous. Let's see, is there any Pocari Sweat here? Any Pocari Sweat? Nope, not here. And look at that, all the garbage bags being picked up. Lots of garbage everywhere being picked up. It's definitely a different atmosphere here in the morning. Last night I just took a walk, no camera, and it was very, very different. Oh, look at that. For 60 minutes, it's 11,000 yen for an Asian retreat. Would only need like 35 seconds. I don't know what are these time zones? They have it all wrong here. They could have charged half as much for 5 minutes, but instead they're charging you a whole 60 minutes for 11,000 yen. I feel you could have done like 5,500 yen for 3 minutes, and they'd have way more clientele. And it even says, welcome foreigner, traditional Thai massage. You know, like, come on. Somebody needs to show them how to do business around here. It's like the same thing, the Love Hotel, 3 hours? What do you need 3 hours for? A minute 50, they're foreign anyways. The whole point is that there's no pillow talk. You can't, even if you wanted to. What's going on? They have it all backwards. Somebody needs to fix this. You know what? I'll take it upon myself to see if I could speak to some of these people and fix it. There's just so much money to be made here. And again, we're still walking the streets. This is an Excite room. And once more, it looks like you could rent out. Is that 30 minutes for 7,000? You see, now they're learning. And look, again, English okay at the cosplay bar. That's how you know they're going to get. My cousins can't come here, especially my cousin Adam. If he goes to a rest hotel like that, I mean, these are all love hotels here. If he goes to any Milk Planet, my cousin Adam absolutely cannot go to Milk Planet. No, Adam, if you're watching this, you need to stay away from all this. When you do finally decide to go to Japan, I mean, you can't come to any of these places. Like Milk Planet, you got to stay away from that. It's just going to ruin you. Hey, look, more vending machines. Is there Pocari Sweat? Let's see. How much is the Pocari Sweat near Milk Planet? 180. Look at that. 180. Again, the price just shifts. We're not going to pay that. We're going to find the 120 Pocari Sweat today. Even if it means we're going to have to leave out of town. We're going to go maybe an hour out of town to see if we can find it. We are now nearing the old robot restaurant. I don't even think this is real. Or sorry, that's not even the restaurant. Or this is the restaurant where it used to be. Big scam. It's not even a good show. Not that I saw it, but, saw it on YouTube. Not a good show. Definitely not worth the $80. And now I think it's some samurai show. If you look around here, Pink Planet, that's just another place on the long list of places that my cousin Adam can't go to. Pink Planet is absolutely not going to work out. It's just, oh, there's Robot Restaurants, it's up ahead. Alright, well anyways, it's all the same thing. These are just places that are out of my financial reach. I mean, I cried the other day because I spent $6 on a Gatorade at the Montreal airport. Definitely not spending money on any of these places. Once more, just more cleaning operations going in the seedy streets here of the red light district here. And I mean, just everywhere we go, it's just bar, cafe, girl bar, basement bars, girl bar here. They're just all over the place. And I mean, they still have it wrong though, because the time slots, somebody needs to fix it. Somebody. I mean, it's like, even there, I'm looking, it's 8,000 for 30 minutes. And there it's you just speak, which you can't speak anyway. What's the attachment? Maybe that isn't for foreigners though, the whole speaking thing. Maybe that is for locals. I'm not really sure. Check out that bird. When you see a bird with a beak that long, it's because you know that there's probably a corpse somewhere in an alley like this. This is another seedy looking area here, where I don't really know what this is, but everything's closed here. but we're just gonna walk around where there is some lights open. There's no real staff anywhere though. Is this private property maybe? I don't even know. I'm just walking. I don't know if it goes anywhere. We'll see. Anyway, I think we're done here exploring the seedy areas. It's not about 7 o'clock and people are starting to show up, but that's what it is. Just a bunch of love hotels like there. Love hotels everywhere, and that one place, Milk Galaxy or something, whatever that was called. You could basically get a good idea as to what they're selling. So if you're looking for that, I mean, they exist here. You know, pull out the wallet. Now we're gonna go find something else to do. We now just got off at Harajuku Station. That's also where there's like all the fast fashion and the well-known street, Takashita Street. I think it's likely wrongly pronounced. But we're gonna try to go here to the park, and we'll see. Even though we're a bit late in the season, we'll see if we could catch any of the trees blossoming, the cherry blossom trees. Also, just to debunk all the people that think they're deep purple, deep pink and red. They're really not. They're mostly white. Seen a few on the way here. But we're gonna go on out to the park. We're gonna see what we get, and we're gonna see what they look like here, if there even still is. I mean, we're April. We're probably 2 weeks out now. Just to give you an idea, those are the kind of trees we're looking for. Now we're gonna head into this park over here, which is quite large despite it being in the middle of the city. And we'll see what we could find, but that's the kind of trees that we're looking for. Now we're here at Yoyogi Park, I think it's called. We have a full deep forest here, some old trees. And something that I always bring up, and I'll probably continue to bring this up, is the contrast that we had between some very old architecture, very old nature, next to some very modern buildings. And I just like to see a contrast like that. Now, unless I misunderstood what I read, something about this park being established in 1920, and it's quite a cool looking park. If anybody could find me a park that looks like this in Montreal or the surrounding areas, let me know. I will definitely do a walkthrough of it and compare. But that's something I just like doing, is walking through these parks. I mean, depending where though. I mean, when I'm in Bangkok or when I'm in Vietnam, I'm not walking through these parks where the spiders are the size of my leg. But, you know, in places like this where I just hope they aren't, we walk through them. Very simple. This is something I gotta bring up, and there's many working class people that I'm seeing walking through this park at 7:30 in the morning. And imagine you were walking through a park like this, connected to nature like this, every morning for 30 or 40 minutes before your workday. Imagine how different your life would be. I mean, I'm seeing people even like giving blessings to trees and stuff. It's just so different. I mean, this is... Imagine before every single morning of your workday, you're walking through just a small little forest like this. You know, just connecting with... Anyway, I'm sounding redundant here, just repeating what I'm saying, but you get the point. If you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I want to elaborate on what I was saying. Now, we're still walking through the same park. It's 15 minutes later. Let me try and elaborate here because I feel I'm just not expressing it correctly. But for those who know, you know what I'm talking about. But as I said, every morning before work, you take a walk like this. You know, there's even like small little ravines. I don't know if that's a ravine. I just wanted to find a reason to use that word. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I need to stay focused. I'm still thinking of the Pocari Sweat, the mythical 120 yen Pocari Sweat. Back to what I was saying. You know, before your workday, where you're going to sit on Excel with your crooked back and just do things for a company that sells products that nobody really cares about, redundant products, doesn't really help anybody in the greater scheme of things. It doesn't provide any sort of value of any sort. But before you do that, I mean, just so you could, you know, help the owner and or owners hoard wealth so they could buy things that they don't care about either, but that they could use to just, you know, tell other people that they have them, these other non-essential materialistic goods. Anyways, I'm just thinking, this just feels like one way or another, it's like a brainwashing cult kind of style of life that it's just, I don't know, man. This is what happens. I go for a walk for 25 minutes in a park, and now suddenly I become philosophical. I don't know what's going on. You know what, let's just turn it off and just keep walking. Alright, this can't only happen to me, but I'm walking here. One sign says go left. That sign says go left and we can't go straight. That sign says go right, which is where I came from. I can't go there. But yet when I come here it says no pedestrian. So I guess we're just going to walk back exactly where we came from. I guess so. We're just... Alright, that was interesting. And there's nobody around here. I really think I'm not supposed to be here. I haven't seen someone else in maybe 20 minutes now. Before over there I seen people blessing trees and doing other things. And now it's just been me for a long time. So I'm starting to get the feeling that maybe I shouldn't be here. So we'll get out of here. Not sure what's going on over here, but it seems to be very quiet and some ringing of a drum. Oh, no cameras. Now that's something that I want to say, is that it's important that when it says no cameras allowed, that you do close your camera, because first it's out of respect, and second, you're a guest. This isn't your house, this isn't your country, you're a guest. So when you go somewhere else, you assume their laws and their practices, or else you just don't go. It's that simple. Like it's not that complicated. When I come here, I understand that, you know, you can't talk on the phone in the metro, whether or not it's illegal, which it's not, but it's just not heard of. I understand that you don't walk while eating and drinking. You know, these are just things that when you're somewhere else, you go by their customs. It's just a matter of respect, you know, and I would expect the same thing back. I mean, nothing really more to it. So when it says no cameras, you just politely turn the camera off and you just continue from there. Alright, I just got the proper history here. That shrine that I was just at, where I couldn't film, the shrine was established in 1920. The park, I don't know, I didn't get there yet, and apparently was destroyed in 1953 or 54 and rebuilt. Once more, I'm going to keep walking around. It seems like there's these posters of information every here and there. I don't know why they just don't put one poster. Oh wait, there's another one here. Alright, I'm going to go read that, and if there's any different info, I'll be back. But you see, here we're learning history, which is such a contrast to what we were doing this morning, which is walking through the seediest areas of likely of the country. I mean, there's another seedy area in Osaka that I've seen that was similar to what we saw this morning. But quite the contrast. Interesting piece of information here is these are all wine bottles with French names on them. And it seems here that the emperor at the time was trying to basically culture himself and try to take in some sort of Western culture, Western influence. And apart from changing his attire to Western attire, he would also indulge in wine. And that's why here we see a bunch of wine barrels, because that is, I guess, one of his ways that he expressed his Western culture adoption. Quite interesting to see. We are now heading to another part of the Yoyogi Park on the west side. We're going to head there. We're going to see what's up over there. And by the way, I just finished passing by a plant restaurant, which I assume is a vegan restaurant. And it goes back to what I was just saying earlier about, you know, when you go somewhere, you acknowledge that it's their country and their customs. Same thing. It's like me going to that restaurant and asking for a steak. You know, that's not what you're going to get there. That's not what it is. And it's vice versa as well. I mean, if you go to a steakhouse, you can't expect a fully vegan meal. So, you know, use your brain. You know, people don't have to accommodate to you. I mean, use your brain. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Am I asking for too much? Is it crazy? Maybe it's just me. Anyways, it's really nice here. Some nice trees, some nice surrounding all around. Oh, there's a gate. Can we get in? Let's see. Remember when I talked about the majestic benches? There are a few more. Imagine just sitting on those benches and just reading a book about some lore that involves questing of some sort, which could just about be any single book. I mean, that is the widest of parameters possible, but this is just what I mean. Majestic benches just under these trees, and just far enough from the trees for you not to be attacked by a spider. So it's just enough distance from the tree, as you can see here. So you're not too close to the tree, but it's close enough that you still feel like it's there. You know what I mean? I think you know what I mean. You know what I mean. That music in the background, it sounds like that one guy from the Avatar. You know that crazy guy who's playing the banjo or whatever it is in I think it was the one with the cave. Anyway, that's what this one guy playing the banjo is reminding me of. It's just that one episode in Avatar. Well, it looks like they are still in blooming season, despite it being early April. But the last time I was here, even in late March in 2020, they weren't blooming like this. So maybe the weather's just been, I don't know, correct for them. But the last time I was here, it did not look like this. Here they are. Not many people taking photos. Usually you have the troves of young females taking an exceptionally large amount of photos next to all these trees. It's quite a nice change that I don't see them taking up, you know, all this space, climbing the trees and doing other things that they do. We're gonna cut that. Told you guys they're not deep pink. I don't know where you guys are getting these Instagram photos from, that they're all edited. They're most definitely not like you see on social media. They are not that fuchsia pink color. This is what they look like. Still pink, but it's not what you see on some of those videos. I mean, we could even go up close to some of them. You can see what they look like. I mean, this is not full bloom, so some of them are dried up or perishing, but that's what they look like. Those are the trees in the back. I mean, unless I'm completely wrong here, but there's a poster right here telling me that these are all cherry blossom trees. So, yeah, I don't really know what it says here. But, you know, we'll look at it and we'll pretend like I know what I'm looking at, and we'll just cut it there. This is an example of a non-majestic bench. This has negative majestic aura. Look at this. There's nothing good about this bench. Just the way it's next to this pole, the way it's... No, there's just nothing about this. That's... No. That is not a majestic bench. That's an example right there of... You know what, they... Just take it out. I mean, it should just be eliminated at this point. I don't know. I don't like that. See, these are neutral benches. These are the neutral, not majestic or non-majestic. It's neutral. See? Now, I'm still looking for that mythical Pocari sweat at 120 yen. We will find one. Don't know where, but we will find one. I haven't seen a vending machine in about 15 minutes, which is almost unheard of in central Tokyo, but we're going to see what we could do. Seeing all these people running around here, and I swear to you, if I wasn't a tourist and if I wasn't in the situation I am in, like if I had my own hotel room and all that, where I could easily do laundry and change into gym clothes and all that, I would absolutely go change right now and start running with all these people that I've been seeing running. I mean, am I the only one that sometimes when you see people playing sports, you just want to join them? Anyway, I completely forgot what the quests were for today. Okay, so we found the cherry blossom trees at this park. They seem to be everywhere, by the way. They're even on the street, they're everywhere. Just seems to be a good density of them here. We still need to find the mythical 120 yen Pocari sweat. We will find it from a vending machine. It's got to be from a vending machine. We will find it, and we will also keep an eye out for some majestic benches. We'll keep an eye, and anybody who knows, you guys know what I mean when I say that. You guys know the importance of the majestic benches. Also, I'm stepping on the earth right here. I'm off the path. I don't know if we're allowed to do this. I don't see anybody else doing it. But let's just quickly go back to a path before something happens here. Notice something else too about rules, and you know how it is with Japanese people and the rules. Everybody follows the rules, but there's some that they just don't follow at all. Like right now we're in the park, and it seems that nobody has their dog on a leash, despite it saying just about everywhere that you need to have your dog on a leash. And it says everywhere that you can bring food and water here, but yet everybody has food and water and is eating even on the grass. And they do look to be locals, but I mean, I could be wrong. And other rules that I also noticed is that on the escalator, when it says not to walk up the escalator, everybody does it. In the women-only carts in the metro, nobody respects that. Anybody just goes into the women-only carts. I don't do it anyways, out of principle, because, you know, I'm not the one here to test the limits, but that's another rule that people don't really follow. So there are some rules that they don't follow. But will they wait at a red light, even though the street crossing is about 15 feet long and there's not a vehicle in sight, and it's 6 in the morning? Yes, they will all wait at a red light. That I have seen. So it really depends. I mean, most rules, they seem to be very strict, and some they don't seem to care at all. That's where they draw the line. They draw the line at dog on a leash, women-only carts. They say, no, women-only carts, that doesn't work. But dog on a leash, we definitely don't follow that either. So it's no real rhyme or reason here. Oh, now they're even... Okay, now they're saying it right now on the PA system in the park. They're saying that dogs are not allowed to wander free. They're saying it in English, but yet everybody who seems to have dogs, I mean, I'd assume is a local, they're all running free. So they're saying the message in English, but it's going on deaf ears here. I mean, unless the English capacity in Japan has drastically increased since the last time I was here. Just hanging in the park. We're gonna cut that. We're gonna cut me just hanging in the park. 8:15 now in the morning, and this is where we are. We started the day at around 6, now it's 8:15. Love these overpass walking bridges. Every time you get on, and they're super high as well, so you can see very far. And it's just always nice to look over and just to see the surrounding nature, the park. And once more, we're getting into the park and then super urban areas. So we're looking at some super high density urban sprawl, yet there's these large parks that are just thrown in there, and it just seems to mesh well. So despite Tokyo having the population of all of Canada, it still meshes well. I mean, there's a lot of park space all over. Track and field right here, and there seems to be a lot of baseball fields as well. By the way, if ever you're wondering where to pee or poop in public, there's these sort of buildings in just about every park, multiple of them, and they are quite clean. I've been to them quite often, and they are clean. I've even made it a point to unleash demons in one of them, and let's just say it was still clean. It was still clean. So definitely use those washrooms. It's not like back in North America, where those are places that become injection sites and there's nothing you can do about it. Here they're being used. The facilities are being used for what they were designed for, which may come as a shock, but once again, different cultures, different things. So, you know, they do a lot of things right here. They do a lot of things wrong, but one of the things that they do right here is washrooms are being used as washrooms, unlike the injection sites that we have where I live. Do you remember hearing about those viral bathrooms that it's see-through glass, and that when you lock the door, it becomes frosted? Well, these are it, and it turns out that not only is there 24-hour security here, but they are all locked, closed, and all frosted. So I would have went to try to go in and just to play with the lock, but it turns out that they were all locked, so I guess people are probably messing around too much with them. But these are it. Those are the bathrooms that you've seen online with hundreds of millions of views. We are now in Enoshima. Got out of that train station back there, right over there, and we are now in Yokohama in some sort of seaside city, so we're gonna go walk around here. It looks like a lot of people got off here. Must be touristic. We'll see what's up. We are now heading towards Enoshima Island, which is that island over there. Supposedly it's touristic. Guess we're gonna find out. At the same time, we're still on the search for the mythical 120 yen Pocari Sweat. I do think we can find it, but we're gonna see what happens. If this is a tourist area, I doubt we're going to be finding it here. Never know. Anything's possible. So we'll keep looking. It also said beware of birds and how to react on one sign, but the instructions were then switched to Japanese, so I couldn't read it. But they tell you how to react to the birds. So I guess we're gonna figure that out. I don't know what that sign says, but I guess don't smack your kid in the hip, or maybe don't smack him in the ass. Not sure what that sign was. I guess we won't be seeing any of that. As we're heading towards the island, if you look very closely, not sure if the camera catches that, but that is Mount Fuji. That is there. I could see it very clearly right now, but I don't think the camera catches it at all. But it is there in the distance, snow-capped and all. Now apparently there's an escalator there, but you have to pay to use the escalator, or you could walk up on your own. Obviously, we're gonna walk up. If it was to pay to walk up, I'd probably still do that. I mean, escalator? Yeah, that is not what we're going to do. It's a nice bridge. Is this the way up, or is the other way the way up? I think it might be the other way. We'll try the other way. Very interesting. Something I didn't know is I guess squirrels are an attraction here because there's a bunch of people who are with their fancy cameras out and who are looking for squirrels that are crawling all over this place, and then they're all rushing to take photos of it. So I guess squirrels are not a thing around here. I mean, I see people scattering around, running with their cameras to take photos. You learn something new every day. When I said that I would pay even if it meant taking the stairs, obviously that was a lie. I would always take the freeway. But in this instance, I'm glad that you could just walk it up, and it gives you a choice of paying to take an escalator or walking for free. Get to see all sorts of life like this. I have no idea where I'm going. I'm just following the road. See, behind me here, this is an example as to what could have been a majestic set of benches. Unfortunately, they would have to trim some of those trees and get rid of the North Korean looking gates. But apart from that, I mean, that's potentially, there's work to be done, but those could be majestic benches. Some majestic benches right here. Let's take a look at this right here. This one right over here. Check this out. Check out your view. See, this right here is another example of a majestic bench under the tree like this. Like, let's just take a seat on it right now and let's see how I feel. See, my mood immediately improved. We need to get more of these. This is the view. Once more, we could look out into the water, and down there you could see Mount Fuji, which is quite far. Camera likely doesn't catch it, but it is there, snow-capped and all. Snow's about halfway down from what I see here, and there's a bird right here. Seems like nobody really cares about the birds. They care about the squirrels. Very strange, considering there's squirrels everywhere where I'm from. We'll keep walking. Let's see what else there is over here. You know, usually when you take these walking paths, these long walking paths up to the top of mountains and tourist attractions, you expect there to be a final result. Is this bench the final result? Because apart from this bench, I haven't seen anything specifically noteworthy. Yeah, it's a nice view. I wonder if there's a way to get on one of those boats. Alright, I know we've been overrunning this bit, but Once again, another majestic bench right there. And look at the view that it's looking over. It's very important to have these benches like this. See right there? And look at the view. It's a bit cut because once you sit, you're lower. But nonetheless, we'll try to cut this bit. We'll cut it. There's too many majestic benches around. We'll save it for only the top highlight ones. Alright, it looks like we made it to the top. I feel like I've exhausted this island. There's not really much else to see around here. There's this sea candle here, but it's 500 yen to take an elevator. Not even the stairs, you have to take an elevator to the top. It's crazy, it ruins the whole experience of taking those emergency stairs to the top. So, yeah, we're obviously not gonna do that. I don't have 500 yen, do you? If you do, feel free to share it, send it my way. I'm not coming back here though. I don't feel like there's much value here. I feel like this is just a gimmicky thing, you know? I noticed something about Asia is that anything becomes a tourist attraction. They make everything a tourist attraction in Asia. North America, it's not really like that, but in Asia, anything becomes a tourist attraction. If you could sell tickets to it, you do. But it's an interesting view. However, there's, once again, not much substance to it. These benches here, nope, they don't qualify. So we're gonna make our way off this island and we'll see what else is going on back on the mainland. This is exactly what I'm talking about. They have a way of turning anything into a tourist attraction. This is where the train passes. Train passes right over here, and they all want that anime style shot with the train passing in front of the water. And they really do turn everything into a tourist attraction. They have a way of doing it, and it works. I mean, I'm here. It definitely works. I feel like the fact that there's 250 people here taking photos and videos really ruined the shot, but that was about it. That was incredibly unimpressive. Can't believe there's legitimately hundreds of different groups of people showing up there every few minutes just to see that train pass as if it's some sort of anime film. I don't even know what film it's from. Maybe it's from like one of those Ghibli films, but even at that, maybe up on Poppy Hill or something. I don't know which one has the train passing by the sea like that, but nonetheless, I mean, that was incredibly underwhelming. Don't waste your time doing that here in Enoshima or Kamakura City. I don't even know where we are, honestly. I don't even know. I'm just walking around right now. This is what it looks like. I don't even know where we are. Let's just find a legitimate train station here and see what's going on. I don't even know what's going on over here. I haven't seen a vending machine in 10 minutes. That's how you know you're in the middle of nowhere in Japan. When you don't see a vending machine for at least 10 minutes. And that mythical Pocari Sweat at 120 yen, we'll find you. I'm looking for you. I'll find you. I've finally acquired the mythical whipped cream and strawberry sandwich. And the price was way higher than what I got in September for. In September it was 380 yen. Now it's 496. I don't know what's going on, man. This is crazy. Everything's getting insanely expensive here. I don't know what's happening. That was like one of the main attractions here. But anyway, was it good? It was amazing. It tasted exactly like how I remember it. It is mythical because if it's not in season, you don't find it. Or at least I didn't always find it, but there you go, I found it. And there was only one left. I took it, and it was solid. As per usual, if you've watched any of my cooking videos, you'll know that I never film myself eating. I just don't like that. Just don't like filming myself eating. Just find it gross. I don't know. I don't like watching people eat. I just don't like that. And then if something gets stuck in my teeth, it's catastrophic. Delete the entire video and sell the camera.
You know what, I'd even probably just throw the SD card in the river or something, in the ocean. Yeah, we'll keep going here and we'll see how far and how many things we could do here in the first 24 hours. I've been walking for about maybe 4 hours now, and we're at about 25 kilometers of walking, but we'll just keep going. Now we're gonna be trying to find a train station, and I think if we continue by here, eventually we're gonna find one. So we'll keep going. I'll admit that's a lot more impressive than the train alongside the water. That's definitely quite cool. By the way, look at this restaurant right here. How scenic and zen is that? That's a restaurant right there across the track. You have to cross the track to get to that restaurant. Crazy. You could absolutely never have that in Canada. Someone's getting hurt day 1, day 2 max. We made it to a temple here in the mountains, and I paid 400 yen to get in, so I assume it's probably going to be really nice. I'd tell you the name, but it's written in their language. Therefore, I don't really know the name, but I'll probably see it somewhere, and I'll let you guys know what it is. But we're going to take a little bit of a stroll and see what we find. It's also important to note we still didn't find the train station, but on our way to the train station, I seen a huge crowd of people coming towards here, so I assume this is some sort of attraction. And as I have the camera filming, there's a helicopter passing over, but nonetheless, we will find a train station at some point after we're done here. Every time I see a wall like this, it makes me think of Uncharted 2 at the end when they're in Tibet or wherever they are. That's what walls like this make me think of. What am I looking at? I don't know, let's get out of here. This is a little bit creepy. Let's just get out of here. Just saw one of the coolest looking Buddhas in here. We're not allowed to take photos or videos, but asked the guy and he said it's made out of wood and it's just gold plated. And it's at least 15, probably even at least 20 feet tall. And it's some sort of like 11-headed Buddha. There's a main one and then there's other heads around it. Anyway, that was a cool statue. I couldn't get much info on when it was made. I was trying to read the plaques. They don't really mention it. I'm going to see what I find and I'll get back to you guys. When people ask me what kind of garden I want in my house, I want one like this. Also, not many insects in this garden. I checked. There is the beach of Kamakura City, I think, or it's one of the beaches. Anyway, a lot of people like to be at the beach. See, I like to be on the mountain looking at the beach. But once again, it all depends on the ecosystem that lives in the mountain. I have to be careful with these steps here because in Montreal fashion, they are not all straight nor the same size. However, these ones, I'll allow it because they're allegedly hundreds of years old, so we'll allow it. I don't know, every time I see stuff like this, I can't help but think at night if, maybe they come alive or something. It always creeps me out a bit, but It's the middle of the day, so it's okay. But we don't know what happens here at night. Well, that is it here. I think we're done here. Let's move forward. We're still trying to find that train station. We're trying to find the mythical 120 yen Pocari Sweat. There's just so many things we're trying to find right now. Where the hell are we? How did we get in a short person cave? I think it's by here. Alright, let's get out of here. Alright, and we are officially getting out of this temple, but for real this time. Let's get out of here and let's for real look for a train station or something, because we're very far from Tokyo right now, at least an hour and a half out. Yeah, so I might have lied when I said we were heading straight to the train station. I saw this that wasn't far away, and let's see where, oh, wow, that thing is, see this too, this is something else that's quite impressive. See, this I don't mind. Spend 300 yen on it. Probably something I'll only need to see once, and it's quite impressive. After that train passing by alongside the water, I wasn't, I mean, my bar of what's impressive has been substantially lowered because that was very anticlimactic. But here we are, another temple. So we're gonna find a train station after this. You know, all these temples, there's so many of them. It's like when you go to Europe and you look at castles, I mean, there's just so many, and they're all well maintained. I mean, good for them for keeping the heritage, but I mean, it you know, loses its touch. It's like after your third day in Europe, all the old buildings, I mean, it stops being eye-catching. You know, I gotta give them credit. I mean, one way or another, they just turn everything into a tourist attraction. I mean, then the incense is another 100 yen. Then you have to get like the tea flavored after this Buddhist's favorite pet pig. You know, it's just, there's so many things. I mean, they really know what they're doing. It's an hour and a half I've been trying to head to the train station. Now it's 2 p.m. and I'm still not there. I've been stopping at these temples, so it got me. Anyways, now for real, we're heading to the train. We officially made it. We are at a train station, finally. Officially made it. Now where to next? Shibuya. This is Shibuya Crossing. Another very underwhelming tourist attraction, but you're going to see here when the light turns green, basically all these people are going to cross all around. There's also a Nissan GTR over there across the street. But it's just basically it. People just cross the street here. Anyways, we'll see in a few moments when it turns green. That was it. That's Shibuya Crossing. Also, most people here are tourists, from what I see. And I don't think I've ever seen this many non-natives in Japan anywhere ever. This is crazy. Most people are in fact tourists everywhere I look. Back in 2020, when I was here during COVID, I was the only white person crossing this. I was the only person with my phone out.
As we are back from Shibuya, it turned out I had to take a massive dump, so we went back to the place. Now it's just gotten late. It's like about 7 o'clock. At this point, unfortunately, we couldn't procure the mythical 120 yen Pocari sweat. Therefore, we had to get the 150 yen one, which it just doesn't hit the same. You know, when you get good value, something just hits better. Anyways, that was the first 24 hours. It's about 24 hours now that I've gotten here. So that was the first 24 hours. We'll cut the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.